Chad Queasy.
Here.
Gary Spielman.
Here.
Brian Majeski.
Here.
All right, so joining us tonight, leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance are some of our Lincoln Elementary students. So please rise, hand on your heart. You ready? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very nice. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you very much, Lincoln students. Appreciate the help in that. We'll move on to our minutes. We got regular minutes of September 19, 2022.
I move for approval of September 19th, 2022 minutes as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second then to approve the regular meeting minutes on September 19, 2022. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right. Thank you for those in attendance. It's nice to see you here. And also those that are watching online. And I know we also have some students here, obviously, that just helped us with the Pledge of Allegiance, so appreciate that. Also just want to point out there's an extra person at the table up here. So that is our new school board rep, Marissa Solis. So welcome, Marissa. And she will have an opportunity to share more about herself at the admin report. So welcome. With that, we will, no public comment, so we will move on to announcements.
The board may recess into closed session per Wisconsin statutes 19.85 paren 1 paren C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically to discuss specific employees and employee groups. The board will reconvene into open session for the possible transaction of business and adjournment.
All right, thank you, Marge. We then have the agenda. Look for any corrections or a motion for adoption.
Make a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second then to approve the agenda for this evening. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right, that moves us on to 9.1, School of the Month. So welcome, Lincoln.
Can you see everyone? Maybe not. Yeah, you're good, right there. All right, thank you, everyone. So I'm Mrs. Bates, and I'm the principal at Lincoln. And so great and excited to be here just a few short weeks after we kind of got started. A couple of our goals that I just kind of want to highlight. We're going to really focus in on one here tonight so that you get to see them, because you really don't want to see me anyways. So our first one that we've been focusing on is ELA. Very, very proud of our work that our team has been doing. We've done some work on our in-service time, focusing specifically on vocabulary, increasing our oral language. How do we build that at home? How do we build the connection with getting some of our, just really focusing on the standards and the love of reading within all of our students. So we've done some really great action steps and spent some of our in-service time on that. Our math goal is focusing specifically on algebraic thinking and also geometry. I know that some of you that were here on our school visit actually saw some of our geometry action steps while they were happening, and the teacher's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was supposed to be doing reading, but I'm like, yeah, that was our action step, you're okay. So one of our action steps is that they're filtering in some geometry throughout the year, because geometry tends to be covered at the end of the year, and so it becomes kind of that last catch-all kind of thing. So doing little 5-minute, really applicable lessons here throughout the year has been every classroom is doing that. But our big focus tonight is actually on our third goal, which is all about creating our positive culture at Lincoln, really focusing on creating common expectations, that sense of being safe and belonging, and doing a lot of work with responsive classroom this year. Myself, as well as many other teachers throughout the district, got to go down and do some training with that. Miss Betcher was going to be here tonight, but for some reason her baby decided to come early, so we apologize. Miss Sanders is also here as well, and she's going to share a little bit first about some of the things that you'll see in every single classroom in regards to responsive classroom, some of the changes that we've really tried to make within the classroom. And then we're going to talk about the role of our delegates here. Right here are some of their team delegates, our classroom delegates, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. So, PowerPoint first, sorry.
Right there.
All right, so we do responsive classroom here at Lincoln. Is that just the arrow? Yep. Perfect. So the beginning of our morning, as soon as the kids come in, they get their breakfast, they all come in and then they all get together in a morning meeting circle. So this gives kids a consistent time, place. It's pretty much the same every morning, so their predictability. So they feel comfortable, like I know when I come in, I do my breakfast, and then I go to the carpet, and we have morning meeting. So we do some share outs, or we share how their days went, and we do morning messages. So the morning meeting is a sense of belonging, feeling, fun. So you do your greeting. So they greet each other by name during morning meeting. Or whatever fun little greeting that occurs. All the teachers are different. It changes day to day. Some teachers have it the same. Then the students will do a sharing. So they'll just share something about themselves, something they did this weekend. And then there's an activity, whether it's with the information that they shared, where the students has to say what another student decided to share, or an activity that includes that community building classroom community building. And then at the end of, after all of that goes down, then you have the morning message, and it's a daily note. Sometimes it usually just consists of kind of like what the day sort of looks like, but kind of just like a nice, like, I'm proud of you, we're doing good, you know, and just focusing on what we're going to focus on this week. So that again is different between all.
Sometimes the morning message will also include information about academics as well. So you might build in some ELA skills, you might build in some math skills into that morning message. We saw one where they were picking out different errors that they saw within the morning message as they were working on sentence structure, or utilizing the vocabulary words that they had just learned. So you might see some of those working hand in hand.
And then, do we go through all the rest? Yeah, okay. So then after lunch and recess, because that's just a lot for, you know, the students and teachers as well, they come back and we do a quiet time. It's just 10 minutes and the kids are just quiet. They can color, read, depending activities, whatever they want to do, but it's silent. There's no talking.
Yeah, and
it gives them a break, and it allows them to kind of just get a reset for the next half of the day.
And part of that is creating that predictability as well. So they're coming back from an unstructured time, recess, which can be a little bit crazy, and knowing prior to going to lunch what they need to do. So they come back from recess, they're going to have quiet time, here are the choices that you can be doing, and then knowing that it's just that time to kind of decompress and refocus and get ready, because it's a lot during the day. So
teachers need that time too.
Yeah,
so
teachers,
it's nice.
and we encourage them to also take that quiet time.
Yes. And then interactive modeling, so teaching routines, teaching it over and over again. You may think they know how to come in and hang up their backpacks, but they might not. Most of the time they don't. So you have to teach it and reteach it. And that goes with academic and emotional as well.
And interactive modeling is just something that we can be doing to help to build that structure, to help to build those pieces. And they are still kids, and so being able to practice those skills, even just turning and talking. You wouldn't, we don't often think of that as a skill we need to teach, to talk to each other, but that is definitely a skill that we need to work on. And so that's something that gets taught not only in morning meeting, but then throughout the day, but even things like how to get your textbook out of your desk, how to return papers in the right place, all of those different pieces where they might be teaching it and then modeling it themselves as the teacher, and then the students might model, and you might ask, what did you see? What did you notice in regards to building that expectation? So you're building the kids in as part of that, the expectations.
And then hopes and dreams. So hopes and dreams were rules that were created by the classrooms. So each classroom had their own hopes and dreams. All the students came up with their hopes and dreams themselves, and then collectively as a class. And then we took some delegates from each class, and they came together and they created, they looked at all of their classroom hopes and dreams, and then they put, basically knocked them down, saw what was similar, what was different, got the most important ones, and then they've been doing that. You want to elaborate?
So we started with the hopes and dreams in each of the classroom levels, which built the classroom rules.
Yeah.
And then each of these kids right here were chosen as part of their classroom delegates. There was more. There was 2 from every classroom. And I brought all of those delegates together per grade first. So I met with 5th grade, started with 5th grade, and then worked my way down. Kindergarten was fun. First week of school. We met with them and talked about what the rules were, and they brought all of their classroom rules together, and we looked for some common grounds. Then they selected delegates from each of the grades. So instead of 4 representatives, they had 2 representatives that came together, and we brought all of those representatives together with all of the other grade levels and talked through what are the similarities, what do you notice, what do you come up with, and then they were able to collaboratively, teamwork, that we met. How many times do you think we met to come up with our rules, you guys? 3 or 4 times. So we took some time to really meet and work through these different ideas that each of the classrooms had, and then from that they collectively made our school rules. And then what did we do from there, you guys? We created a what?
One list of rules.
One list of rules, yep. And then we were getting ready to roll it out to the school. And in order to do that, we needed to
Make a assembly.
we had an assembly. Vivian?
We have to make different videos to be separated and
Yeah, so they made a video of all of their classroom rules, and we're going to show that to you now so you can see what they came up with. And then they presented this to our entire school at an assembly, which was really, really neat. So we're going to show you that video. If the mouse works, so yes.
Let's make this move. Okay, great.
You got it.
Every classroom started with creating their hopes and dreams.
These helped us to create our classroom rules.
Delegates from each grade came together to create the school rules.
Here are our rules.
A school to be safe.
In order to be safe, follow the directions and play nicely. Voices off. Walking quietly. Hands at your side. Our school rule is to be kind.
Being kind in the classroom means you help one another out. Be respectful.
To be respectful of lunchroom is to follow expectations and listen to the adults.
Being respectful means we show sportsmanship, win or lose.
Good job, Ace. Do you want to play again?
Sure.
Be an active listener.
Paying attention and working on whatever you're supposed to.
So we didn't do math today. He wants to do the first one. Yeah.
Trying your best means taking risks, even when it's hard.
Let's try what you want to do tonight.
Very nice.
Very nice.
All right, so we're really excited for all of the work that our delegates did, all of our teachers, all of our teams so far already in the first short few weeks that we've already been in school. Do you guys have any questions for any of our, either Ms. Sanders or any of our delegates?
I have just one question. First of all, does the morning message go to the entire school, or is that by grade, by classroom?
Can you guys answer that?
It is by classroom.
By classroom, okay. And could we have your delegates introduced?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Berkeley, you want to start with you?
No.
She's
Adorable.
And I'm in.
First grade.
Nice.
Oh,
Hello.
nice.
My name is Steven, I'm third.
Hello.
My name is Preston, I am in third. My name is Luke and I am in second.
My name is Drake and I am in 5th.
My name is Henry and I'm in first.
Nice.
And Ms. Sanders is our
Yeah, excellent.
Was it hard to get everybody to agree on the rules in your classroom, or was it really pretty easy?
It was pretty easy. We all we had a lot of rules that were similar, so it was pretty easy to combine them.
Vivian, did you want to say something? No? Same? We did have to, we kind of broke it down first into some smaller groups, like we had you guys work in groups of 4, and then all came together. So, right? We had to look for some similarities.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I had the pleasure of sitting in on that morning meeting, the kindergarten class, and that was really well done. It was really a joy to watch. We had some chats while we were eating, and then we're all sitting down on the mat on the floor, and I thought you can just kind of sit wherever you want, and I got a tap on the shoulder, and apparently I was in the wrong spot. So I got up and moved, but I was very impressed with the morning meeting, and I think it's a great idea.
Also want to congratulate you guys for stepping up and being a delegate for your classrooms. So a lot of times throughout school, you're going to see opportunities where you can be more involved and be a leader for your classrooms. And so I'm really glad to see you guys stepped up and did that. So congratulations.
Yep.
All the way up to school board delegate.
All the way up, yeah. Any other questions for Lincoln?
They asked if they were famous now because they were going to be on TV or on YouTube.
You are.
And I
You'll
said,
be able to watch it when you get home.
absolutely. Yeah.
Did you guys, when you guys watched the video, did you think you did as good as you did when you first took the video?
Yeah, you knew it.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Vivian.
Well, we've got to do retaping because like,
And I said I had magic skills, right? So we were gonna use those, yeah. Magic editing skills.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, you guys did an excellent job.
Yep.
So thank you very much for coming tonight and sharing that video with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yep.
Thank you.
Russ, that's going to be hard to follow up.
Oh, but we're going to talk about Disney, so.
That's pretty good.
Good. Unfortunately, one of our band folks could not be here tonight. Mr. Henriksen had planned to come here and present. So on his behalf, I have some notes to share with you. I believe in your packets, you have this full slideshow. I'm not going to go through that. There's a lot of stuff in there that's more important for the people going on the trip. But the trip itself is scheduled for March 16th to the 22nd. It'd be the Thursday, Friday before spring break, and then they'd be back the Wednesday of spring break. They work with Bob Rogers Travel. They've done that a number of times before to coordinate all of the travel, the lodging, all of the entertainment along the way. Their first day in Disney is March 18th, and they start with marching in the parade at the Magic Kingdom and then enjoying some of the Magic Kingdom as well. The next day they'll do workshops at Disney and they'll have a day at Hollywood Studios. The 20th they're going to get out by the ocean and enjoy a day at Cocoa Beach. And then the 21st they'll finish their last day in Florida at Epcot and then start their return home that evening, arriving home on the 22nd. All of the price to go for students is $1,565 per student. It's $1,000 for the chaperones. That includes everything from their motor coach transportation, the lodging, security at the hotel, breakfast at the hotel each day. They're going to have a barbecue on the beach when they're at Cocoa Beach, a group dinner with a show. And then they'll get 3 $20 dining cards for Disney while they're there. They'll do 3 days of work as performing in the park, and they'll actually do a soundtrack session doing instrumental like in the Hollywood Studios, like thinking about movies and playing the background music. They'll do something like that. And then they'll have a tour director on site and all the other little things that Bob Rogers provides the kids as far as a backpack with other essentials in there. Travel insurance is available to all students, so that the families and the students know that up front. And they plan to do some fundraising through embroidery that they do on apparel every year, and a nut fundraiser and working concessions at basketball games. So they're looking for your approval. I can try and entertain any questions you may have. I've went through this presentation.
Do they have an idea how many students would be going?
I think they get around 70-ish students. This is one of the bigger ones that they do, I don't know, is it biannually or every 3 or 4 years?
Is this an event that will it only be the Beaver Dam band that'll be there, or is there other bands from across the country
There quite possibly will be other bands, but they're not necessarily with those. Everything they do is with Beaver Dam.
I gotcha.
It's a program they have that they coordinate all year round.
Yeah, I think I was down there last time and saw the band march. It was pretty cool
Yeah.
to see them go through.
I've been there, not when any of my schools I've worked for, but they do that almost daily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Sounds like a great opportunity for some life experiences and a little bit of fun. So with that, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion, we approve the high school band trip as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second then to approve the high school band trip as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right.
All right. I believe I have another item.
Yes.
Star College Now, it's always my pleasure to come twice a year to present a list of requests from our students who are looking to take Star College Now classes. This go around, these are requests for spring semester. It's always a semester in advance. We have 18 students requesting to take courses. In your packet, there's a full listing of the courses that they have selected. The 2 schools that have been asked for this next semester is our neighbor next door, Moraine Park, as well as a Madison Area Technical College request. You will always see kids maybe put like 10 options down, and that doesn't mean they're taking all 10 classes. It's because it's based on seats available. Once they fill them with traditional students, If there's room for high school students, they'll add them. So that's why students many times request multiple classes in hopes that they'll get one. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think we've ever run into an issue not getting a student their first request. So I'm looking for your approval to move forward with the paperwork for Marine Park and Madison College.
Any questions?
There's a number of kids that take like a CNA type class, a nursing assistant. It's still a better deal for us to send them there than to offer it at our high school, correct?
Well, we wouldn't have anybody who's currently
Able to teach
able
that?
to do that.
So there are other opportunities other than this program for kids to earn credits in these schools through our dual accreditation programs at the high school?
Correct. And one of them I saw on here, the principles of sustainability. That's the one that you guys will be looking at, I think, tonight to approve as a course change at the high school, and then now they can take it at the high school.
Okay.
And we also do, College 101 is now available. That was another popular one that was requested. We got dual credit status with them for this school, current school year. So, yep, we're moving along.
Thank you.
Other questions? If not, entertain a motion.
I move for approval of the Start College Now program requests as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the Start College Now request as presented. Need a roll call vote, please.
Marge Jorgensen,
Yes?
Mary Coombs,
Yes.
Maria Mason,
Yes.
Lisa Panzer,
Yes.
Chad Greenway,
Yes.
Gary Spielman.
Yes.
Ron Majeski,
Yes.
Isaac Ron.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
All right, that moves us on to 10, reports by the board. I'm proud to offer Marissa the first opportunity to report out on herself and a little bit about the students. So with that, I'll turn it over to Marissa.
So, hi, my name is Marissa, and I would like to start by telling you a little bit about me, like what I'm involved with in the high school. I'm first off like the student council president this year, and I'm also part of Link Crew, Key Club, and Yearbook. The types of classes I like to take at the high school that are offered there are like AP classes, so AP Chemistry I've taken last year. It was very interesting. And I'm currently taking AP Calc 1 and AP Bio. This leads me to my goals after high school, which is to go to a 4-year college. And I'm in between like 2 careers at the moment, which is to be either a biochemist or a mechanical engineer. Now that you know me a little bit more, I'd like to tell you about how homecoming went this year. I would like to start off like with hallway decorations, in which juniors took the win, seniors came in second, freshmen came in third, and sophomores came in fourth. I would like to say that I'm happy for the great participation from the freshmen, for it is their first homecoming at the high school, and they did pretty well. The Spirit Days this year were Adam Sandler Day, Country versus Country Club, Neon Day, and Hawaiian Day. These days were a great turnout with great participation from the student body. Some events that occurred the week were Macho Men on Monday night, which the seniors won with a score of 3-0. And another event that occurred was Powder Puff, in which I also participated in, and won 14-7. The wind time activities were a great hit with the obstacle courses for the fastest time. We also had trivia, bingo, and board games, which I heard from the teachers were also a great turnout. They all had full of students. Next up was the pep rally, in which we had some special guests, the Milwaukee Bucks Rim Rockers, which the crowd really enjoyed and found entertaining. Later the day was the parade, which I had been in representing Yearbook, and it was a great turnout from the community and participants and all. The next day was the homecoming dance, in which we sold 642 tickets, which was great for us as part of the student council, which our goal was 600, and had a wonderful decoration set up by several student council members, in which, including me, overall took the dance. It was a great success. As the student council president, I believe we did an amazing job for homecoming, in which we hyped up the week and danced and created simple but great dress-up days. We planned out a great dance, spreading the word for participation of this week, encouraging everyone to participate and show their school spirit. Creating and setting up the activities during wind time, providing great student MCs to give a great experience during the pep rally. And that's all.
Awesome. Any questions?
I heard the weather was pretty bad for the powder puff football.
It really was, and the juniors got to decide what way we would be like running towards, and they chose for us to run towards the rain.
Nice.
I just have a question. How often does the student council meet?
Currently, I want us to meet like several times a month because we're trying to renovate student council this year because they used to be like more of a party planning club. That's what my advisor was telling me, and that's why she sent me and my current vice president to a leadership camp this summer, and we're trying to like make it more like of a leadership club.
I can imagine there's probably a higher level of enthusiasm for homecoming with the fact that we had a couple years where probably homecoming was not like it used to be, so.
Yeah.
Did you see that increased energy this year over previous years?
Yes, I really did see that. Like the last homecoming I really remember that was that exciting was my freshman year.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Other questions? All right, well, thank you very much for joining us for the year. It'd be nice to have you at the table and add some input from a student perspective, so thank you very much. All right, we will move on to 10.2 then, Operations Committee.
Operations Committee met on October 10th. The board members present were Isaac Dornfeld, John Kraus Jr., Joanne Tyjeski, and myself. Ms. Malkovich, Director of Business Services, provided an update on the 2022-2023 budget, and she reviewed the timeline and enrollment information. And as we saw in today's presentation, the enrollment overall is down from last year, but she noted that the revenue limit calculation is based on the 3-year average. So, and she also reported that the equalized property value increased, but the state budget provided no increase in revenue limit or per pupil aid. As a result, the district will be using ESSER funds to balance the district's budget. The annual budget hearing is scheduled, and we held it just before this meeting today on October 24th. And the budget would be presented for adoption at the regular board meeting. Mr. Warwick, Director, District Facilities and Safety Officer, provided a recap of the maintenance and building projects that were completed over the summer. A variety of projects were completed at all school buildings. One major project was the relocation of the Educational Service Center and the raising of the building located at 705 McKinley Street. And Ms. Malkovich also provided an update on the district's facility study. ISG is the company that we had hired, and they completed a walkthrough of the 3 schools on September 29th, and they will present their findings at the November board workshop. There will also be a board workshop in December to discuss the direction for the facility plan and present proposed summer projects for next summer. Any facility plan recommendations from the workshop will be presented for action at the January regular board meeting. And our next Operations Committee meeting is scheduled for January 23rd, 2023.
All right, questions for Marge? All right, if not, we'll move on to Teaching and Learning.
Teaching and Learning also met at the Educational Service Center at 5:30. The board committee members that were present were Mary Kuntz, Maria Mason, myself, and Gary Spielman joined us a little bit later. Mr. Meyer, the Director of Teaching and Learning, reported that a revision of the science curriculum is due during 2022-2023 to be implemented during the 23-24 school year. He reviewed the steps involved in the review process and said there are likely to be recommended changes at the high school due to licensure and certification concerns. Similar programming may also be able to be provided with more flexibility to sustain the pathways. Mr. Meyer also updated the committee on response to intervention implementation and explained that the focus of the RTI work is a response to the district's strategic plan strategies and the strategic actions. He reviewed the tiers of the RTI at Work pyramid along with the accomplishments and the next steps. Mr. Meyer then presented an outline of the new course proposals and revisions for the high school. The new course proposals include medical terminology, which will be a transcripted course with MPTC, advanced strength and conditioning, Heritage Spanish 2, and the principles of sustainability, which is a newly named course, a revision to the current environmental studies science course, and provides an option for transcription with MPTC. Our next committee meeting is scheduled for January 23rd, 2023.
All right, questions for Lisa? Just a couple comments. So first of all, Pete did a wonderful job at reviewing the summer projects. I'm a big picture guy, so I really appreciate the pictures that we got to see on the completed projects that we did this summer. And then from a teaching and learning standpoint, I appreciate Mr. Meyer going through and making sure that all the stuff that we're working on from a teaching and learning standpoint refer back to the strategic plan. So I think sometimes the strategic plan and the initiatives get lost, and it's nice to see as we get regular updates through committee and through board meetings that we refer that information back to the strategic plan, so I appreciate that. Any other questions, teaching and learning?
We have a motion, though.
Oh, sorry.
Correct.
Sometimes you just gotta tell me to be quiet.
So I move the board approve the new course proposals, medical terminology, principles of sustainability, advanced strength and conditioning, and Heritage Spanish 2.
Second, or go ahead.
All right, we have a motion and a second then for the classes as presented. We do not need a roll call. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right, those are approved. And so just a reminder, no committee meetings the next 2 months. We have workshops specific to the work that was done on the three buildings. And so we'll reconvene committee meetings in January. All right, that moves us down to board engagement. Opportunity for board members to share out any engagement opportunities they were part of this last month.
Yeah, Chad, I attended the Lincoln Coffee Chat. It was really good to sit in on. Sat with some of the teachers in the morning, had a nice little chat. We got to, like I kind of mentioned before, we got to go see some classrooms. I got kicked out of my spot on the carpet. But I'll just tell you what, that it really, that the folks at home, anybody watching, these teachers that we have in this district just do an incredible job. And sitting in those classrooms and seeing that, I mean, trust me, they do an incredible job, and I was so proud to see it, and, I guess that's where I'm at on that. I also went to the homecoming game. Froze my butt off there for a little bit, and I sat in on the staff advisory team, which another, I think, great asset to this school district. Mark, you kind of chaired that, put that together, having representatives from all of our buildings, teachers, it's an open forum, so you get the positives, the negatives, and the idea is to grow and continue to get better. So I was thrilled with that as well.
So I also was at Lincoln, and basically would agree with everything that Ike just said. You know, it's interesting being in kindergarten classrooms. I was sometimes referred to it as organized chaos. We were in the kindergarten class, and I think Mr. Cook, right? Is that where we were in? Yeah, we were in. So he was like having 6 different conversations with 6 different kids at the same time as we were trying to put envelopes away and trying to get people to sit down and finishing breakfast, and it was just unbelievable to see all that become organized in some way. So that was fun. Also, specific to the coffee chat, I think it's good to see staff involved in those coffee chats because we can have some honest dialogue, right? There's obviously always room for opportunity for us to grow, and it's those conversations that can lead us in that direction, so I appreciate that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I attended a couple of the homecoming things, but I just really wanted to call out the parade and the great job the students did in putting the floats together, the band, and really the community that steps up every year to come and appreciate all the work the kids do. I know I watch from a different spot almost every year, but I was downtown this year, and the number of people that were down there that don't have students in the district anymore, but always come to support the parade and the community is just really a sign of a great community that supports our schools. So great year again. Nice job to all the students that made that parade happen.
Yeah, very surprised how many people were there, especially with how the weather was. So that was nice to see. Anybody else, anything else to share?
Mary and I were actually both on the Wellness Committee. We met for the first time this year on the 4th of October and tried to lay some groundwork down for the main challenges that we'll be working on and going forward. So, and I think we had some good ideas, and people were throwing around some information. So our next meeting for the Wellness Committee is December 6th, so we'll follow up on that.
All right, anybody else?
I helped serve lunch at the high school, and what impressed me were the kids. They were the thank yous and how polite the kids were, and that made me feel good. I mean, you hear all awful things about students and stuff, but the kids were very, very nice and polite, so it was fun.
Anybody else?
I got to see a little bit of the Powder Puff game. That was awesome. It's like, go girls. And then I also got to see the junior high football game. Those boys are intense. I mean, I had fun. I mean, it was raining, but you were just like, yeah. So great job.
Nice.
All right. Anybody else? All right, appreciate the board sharing out. I think I've always been real appreciative of our board and how involved they are in everything we do from a school standpoint, district standpoint, excuse me. So, you know, encourage you to please continue to do that, continue to be involved in our district. So thank you for that. 10.5, recognitions. Anybody have any recognitions they want to share out?
There was a lot, I think, that was already covered by some of our board members talking about their engagement, but just want to reiterate homecoming, all the work that the kids did in putting that together, and the staff. And then also the whole district participates in homecoming here in Beaver Dam, which is amazing, and just the engagement was great. So I really appreciate everybody for their involvement. And then speaking of involvement, activities in athletics this fall, really good participation there, and hats off and safe travels to our FFA, who's going to be headed to Indianapolis this week for their national convention. And we have 2 state cross-country state qualifiers on the girls' side. So Mila Westra and Kylan Reynolds Eastlick, so both of them did outstanding throughout the whole season. Well, a lot of the kids did great throughout the whole season, but they really showed out at the sectional in Slinger. So they get to go ahead and run in Wisconsin Rapids. I can't think of anything more enjoyable than to running as hard as I possibly could for 3.5 miles in Wisconsin Rapids, but they're going to do great. So kudos to them, and I know they'll get a great send-off and some recognition from the high school. And then coming up, the next time we have a board business meeting will be November 14th, which will also be the kickoff of the district-wide food drive. So just want to recognize our social workers and the PPS staff and all of the other people that are involved in helping make sure that our food drive is a successful event and a positive reflection of all the giving that we do in our district and community.
I just have one. It always comes up so late in the meeting that we don't really get to say it in front of an audience at all, but I really want to thank the people that are stepping up from whatever their life circumstances is to take these long-term sub positions and fill in for the folks that are either off growing their family or suffering with some health needs, or for whatever reason they need some personal time. That we have some great retirees and other people in the district and communities around us that are willing to step up and take these long-term sub to make sure that the quality classroom continues while we can give our staff some family time.
Anybody else? If not, I would look for a motion to move into closed session.
I moved.
Oh, she needs the long one. Do I have to read this? Yes.
Okay. I move the board recess into closed session per Wisconsin statutes 19.85, paren 1, paren C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically to discuss specific employees and employee groups. The board will later reconvene into open session for the possible transaction of business and adjournment.
Second.
Thought you were going to give it to Ike.
Oh, I'm sorry, I go for it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to move into
thinking
closed
about the next
session.
thing already.
Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 All right, we will be enclosed. We'll be back.
I'm gonna need paper tonight.
It's like Yankees fans at the Phillies game. Oh, no, that's what
Oh, my gosh.
Who they play?
They're going to be playing Houston. Houston and Phillies will be playing. There you go.
I also agree with that. I don't want to.
I don't think the Yankees won a single game.
All right, we are back in open session, and we will move forward on to 13.1.
There are 2 resignations on the agenda for your approval this evening.
I move the board approve the resignations as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the resignations as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right,
There are 3 leaves of absence on the agenda for your consideration this evening.
I move the board approve the leaves of absence as presented.
all right, motion and a second to approve the leaves of absence as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. Okay,
For appointments tonight, we have 4 that are long-term substitutes. One is Todd Halverson for instrumental music at the high school. One is Rachel Holland for physical education at the middle school. And 2 of them are Mickle McClelland. One is for music teacher at the high school, and one is second grade at Jefferson. We also have John Nortman as a science teacher beginning second semester on January 17th.
I move the board approve the appointments as presented.
motion and a second to approve the appointments as presented. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you.
All right, we have 13.4, the 2022-23 budget adoption and certification of property tax levy.
I move the Board of Education of the Beaver Dam Unified School District hereby adopt, certify, and impose a school tax levy of $17,790,704 upon all real taxable property within the Beaver Dam Unified School District.
Is that correct?
Yep, there's a second motion as well, though.
Was there a second?
Second.
And then that one.
Oh, you're gonna do both of them, or
Oh,
do
sorry.
single?
Yep.
You're okay, they can do them separate.
We
it's
do
fine.
need to do them each separate?
Yes.
Okay.
So, oh, you did second it, sorry. All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the 2022 budget adoption. Not the tax levy, right?
The certification I did.
Tax levy.
All right, I'll make it easy. We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please. Yes.
Yes.
You forgot
Yes.
Joanne. Okay.
Yes.
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 Okay. I move the Board of Education of the Beaver Dam Unified School District hereby adopt the 2022-2023 original budget, including Fund 10 general operation revenues totaling $42,592,723.10, and expenditures totaling $42,571,882.10 as presented, as the official district budget for the school year.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second then. Roll call.
Yes.
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 All right. Nicole, back to you.
The administration requests approval to remove language relating to paid-up life insurance or prepaid life insurance from all district publications and documents and replaced with the appropriate term life insurance benefits language where appropriate. Paid-up life insurance is no longer available in the marketplace and therefore is no longer a benefit BDUSD can provide.
If there's no questions, I entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we update the contract language as recommended.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to update life insurance benefit language as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All those not, same sign.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, tonight we're, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Board policy updates, revisions. So tonight is the final reading. The board was presented with the changes recommended by Neola in September. There were 21, I believe, different revisions to board policies that were recommended by Neola. You've had an opportunity to review those. So at this point in time, in order for us to firm those up and take the next steps, we need your approval to move forward.
Any questions for Mark? Otherwise, I entertain a motion to update board policy revisions as presented.
I make a motion, we update the policy revisions as presented.
Second.
Motion is second then to update board policy revisions as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right, on to other business, payment of claims.
I move for payment and claims in the amount of $6,028,522.58.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for payment of claims. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. And with that, we'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.